Hi guys, it's Brittany and Jen from Ambition After Hours again, coming to you on Riverside, which is so exciting. We've started to love this new platform, but today you're in for a little treat. Today we're talking about something that impacts how we feel, how we think, and the way we lead ourselves every day. Today, we are talking about the hormones in the female body, which can be an overwhelming topic for some people. But I want to tell you that we are so honored to have a guest today, Chloe Stickings. Is that how I say it?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
it is.
perfect. All right, we have Chloe Stickings with us today. And Chloe, you know what? Maybe we'll give you a chance right now to kind of introduce yourself because this is a big topic for women.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, I'm Chloe. I am a health coach. I specialize in women's hormone health, pelvic health, and also supporting women with chronic illnesses such as chronic fatigue and chronic pain as well. As a lot of health coaches out there, I came to this work through my own health journey and my own health struggles. Just a little bit about me. I became chronically ill when I was 12, so at a very young age in my life. And when I was 13, I was told that I wouldn't be able to have children, that my hormones were not working properly, that my hormones had shut down, and that I wouldn't be able to have children naturally. And that kind of started me on my health journey. I was chronically ill for about 10 or 11 years of my life before I found the kind of like holistic health space and actually found things that were able to help me, and that were able to heal me. So this is like my passion. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help other women to heal their hormones, to heal their bodies, and yeah, to kind of break free from the medical system that tells you that you can't heal a lot of the time. And I'm here to kind of empower women to, yeah, love their cycles, love their bodies, and yeah, to feel good and feel energized in their bodies.
I
I
love
feel
that.
like,
I'm
yeah,
s-
I feel like our audience is gonna love you today, Chloe.
I'm so excited
Oh,
for this too because I feel like even in the traditional medical field, women's health is so behind where men's health has been. We don't have studies, we don't have good research, all of these kinds of things. So I think we really do have to find other ways and advocate for ourselves and learn about our bodies. So I'm just so excited about how we can share that with our listeners.
Yeah, so before we jump into it with Chloe, we always do, as you guys know, a high and a low. So, basically, you want to tell us about a high that you've had and a low that you're kind of experiencing. Maybe Jen, I'll start with you so Chloe can see how it's done.
Okay, let's do my high first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sneak something out on this podcast that I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about yet, but I'm so excited about it, I can't even hold it in. So recently I got asked to be on the committee for one of the first female only golf tournaments that's going to be happening in Edmonton. And we had our first official meeting of the committee. Things are rolling really fast, and I am so excited. We're supporting an amazing cause. We have already some amazing sponsors, and we have a celebrity MC. So I can't really spill details yet. Can I say the name, Britt? I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sure.
So it's gonna be called Bad Birdies Invitational, and it's gonna be on July 9th at Red Tail. Thursday, July 9th, I believe that's the correct date, starting at 1:30. And I want July to be tomorrow. I'm so excited about it. So it was such a great meeting. Things are rolling so quickly. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, it is within, I think, like our nature, podcast nature, or entrepreneurial nature to do something for women and, give back to a cause that supports women. So, I mean, to be fair, that was my high. That was my high too this week. Jen, let's talk about your low.
Yeah, so my low is that I'm having to practice that whole like resiliency and combating my all or nothing thinking that we talked about with Jess. There's been changes at my office that I think are going to be a little bit challenging for me to weather over the next 3 to 4 months. And I had put a lot of time, effort, and energy into getting us to a place where I wouldn't be weathering these same kind of challenges in this busy season. And, the best laid plans. So it feels like I'm back at square one. I know that's not the case. So my low has just been trying to remember that, you know, effort is not a waste and that challenges are learning opportunities. And this isn't a step back. This is just an opportunity to grow in a different way. Um, but legit, this is like the 24 hours later version of me reflecting back from a very mature position. At the time, I was just like, what in the actual fuck is happening? Suffice it to say that when the low was actually happening, I was not this evolved about it. But that was my low for this week. Same
Yeah.
challenge, different year, frustrating.
All right, Chloe, so you've seen how it's done. So I'm coming to you now. What is your high this week?
So my high this week is that I have had my best friend from the UK visiting me here in Canada. So we have been best friends since we were 7, and she's like my childhood best friend. And so she's been here for the whole week. She's gone home now. But I've been able to like show her around, do all of like the exciting touristy things with her. And yeah, just get to share this place that I love and that I've moved to with her, which has been amazing. Yeah, get to kind of show her my new life here, which has been incredible. So yeah, that has definitely been my high for the past week.
Amazing. What do you think her favorite part was?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. We did have some great food, I would say, like the steak, the food. We had some great meals. We also had a great time at Lake Louise doing like the horse sleigh ride. So yeah, we've done so many fun things.
Oh my God. Well, for the listeners that are listening, Chloe lives in Banff, Alberta, which is probably one of the most scenic places on earth.
For sure.
So her friend was probably not disappointed at that visit, that's for sure.
Actually,
No, very different to Grey London.
that's how we had the privilege of meeting Chloe in the first place. You and I were, having a best friends couple of nights in Banff. So it's kind of kismet that that would be your high today because that's our best friends weekend is how we came to find you, which is so awesome.
Yeah, what a coincidence, right? Synchronicity, is that what we are calling it? Um, awesome. Okay, well, Chloe, now's the hard part. Tell us about a love.
So I would say my low this week, kind of similar vibe to Jen's actually, has been like my frustration with my body. So I have had like a lot of hip pain this week, which is something that I've been struggling with for years, and just like working out has been hard, like skiing has been hard. There's been just a lot of frustration, and a lot of anger around that for me. And yeah, I think as well, I've been trying to take the mindset of like, nothing is a waste, like, nothing, everything's a learning opportunity, everything's an opportunity to grow. And, I'm able to like modify workouts and things like that. But yeah, overall, it's just been a frustrating week with that. And, yeah, something that I've been kind of, yeah, mentally struggling with, I would say.
I get it. So I think my low comes along with both of your guys's. I am like currently sick with like a little bit of a cold thing happening here. And I feel like I'm like, come on, body, let's get over this. What is going on? It's taken me like I'm probably going into my second week now with this little cold of mine, and I'm doing everything. I feel like I'm doing everything right. Like I'm sleeping and taking vitamins and, you know, getting rest when I can get rest, but it's just not going away. And I feel like that is like, I'm like, what is this? Is this like you hit 30 and you like can't get rid of a cold anymore? I don't know what's going on.
Year old, I can tell you that's not a thing.
Well, I appreciate the feedback. Then I know, like, if the end is near. Let's hope.
You're cold, right?
Yeah, of my cold. You're so ridiculous.
That's why you keep me around. You love it.
Yeah. But okay, let's jump into it. I mean, we have Chloe here. We have her for a little bit, and we want to just, learn as much as you know, Chloe, about the female body, because honestly, it's like I do marketing. I know nothing here. So I'm here to just hear what you have to say. So a lot of people think hormones are just about periods and fertility. How do you explain hormones in a way that actually feels like tangible to people and real?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the way that I would explain hormones is hormones affect how you feel all the time, 24/7, every single day of your life as a woman. Hormones are going to be impacting how hungry you are, how warm or cold your body is, how your brain works, what kind of music you want to listen to each day, like absolutely everything, things that you would never even consider, and where you are in your menstrual cycle or like what is going on in your hormones is going to impact that. Your hormones also impact like your energy levels, your gut health, how well you sleep at night, just everything and anything that you can think of. So they are really important. They are Hormones are more than your sex hormones as well. So a lot of people tend to think about like estrogen, progesterone, and like their period and their cycle, but hormones are like every chemical reaction in your body as well as that. And there's always something different going on with your hormones. So every single day of your cycle, there is something different happening. It's not just, when you have your period, you might kind of start to pay attention to what is going on with your hormones, and you'll be aware that something is happening, right? But your hormones are working super, super hard to support your body every single day. And there's a million different chemical reactions happening in your body that you have no idea about. So yeah, hormones really do affect everything. And a lot of the time, if they're off, it will also affect everything. It will affect your mood, it will affect your relationships, how you're able to work, like your business. So yeah, that is why it is so, so important to take care of them and to look after them as well.
Yeah, I'm enthralled by this. I feel like I don't know enough about hormones, but I feel like you hit a certain age and all of a sudden that's everything that everyone's talking about.
Affect your business, and I just wanted to ask you a question related to that because I think a lot of our listeners and us too, we're entrepreneurs, so we're very, high functioning, high stress. So what are the most common hormonal issues or patterns that you see in those types of women who are in very stressful big jobs, careers, and are also like high functioning?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say that like the low progesterone pattern is something that I see the most of in like really ambitious, like hardworking women. The reason for that being that when you are hardworking and you're maybe working really long hours and you're looking at your laptop screen all day and you're getting all of that blue light and you're trying to juggle all of the things and work and kids and getting enough sleep, a lot of the time your cortisol will be high. So, cortisol being like a stress hormone. And in order to make that cortisol, your body will burn through progesterone to make that. So our bodies are always going to be prioritizing stress hormones and making stress hormones over making sex hormones. And progesterone is one of the most important hormones in our bodies. It's the hormone that stops our periods from being painful. It's like the hormone that keeps us calm and grounded and relaxed and stops PMS. So, yeah, if you are a super, super busy, ambitious woman, I would imagine that most of you would have like slightly low progesterone, just because of that constant stress and that constant high cortisol. But also the good news is that there's so much that we can do to support that, and there's so much that we can do to kind of like, yeah, help your body through that as well.
Glad you hit us with the good news because it was looking pretty bleak there for a
Yeah.
second. Uh, so for these like we run businesses, we're entrepreneurial, we're go, go, go all the time. For these people that are kind of like for us, I think like stress becomes normalized, right? Like I feel like I'm always functioning at a 10. How does chronic stress actually impact my hormones at like and my female body comparatively, I guess, to maybe a male body?
Yeah, absolutely. So everything that I've just mentioned about the progesterone is obviously plays a huge, huge part. Um, when we're stressed as well, we burn through minerals. So things like magnesium, sodium, potassium, and those minerals are so, so important for your hormones. So, for example, if you're stressed, you're going to be burning through magnesium. Magnesium is what stops us from having period cramps. So, if we have low magnesium, we're going to have really painful periods because magnesium is super, super important to relax muscles, including your uterus. So, stress can have like a direct impact on your hormones that way. And like I say, if you're burning through so many minerals because you are stressed, that's going to have an impact on your gut health. That's going to stop you from absorbing nutrients in your foods and all sorts of things like that as well, which again will have an impact on your hormones. A lot of women who are extremely stressed will stop ovulating, and that's something that is not really spoken about a lot because, again, we think we're having a period, everything is fine, but you can have a period and not ovulate. And actually, ovulation is one of the most important parts of our cycles as women, um, because that is what produces progesterone. You can't produce progesterone unless you ovulate. So, yeah, if you are really stressed, your body is going to think it's not safe for you to have a baby and it will stop you from ovulating. And I know that not everyone is looking to have a baby
Of
24/7,
course.
but like that is what our bodies like are here for, right? That is what our bodies think are important. Um, so yeah, if you are stressed, it can stop you from ovulating, and that can have a huge impact on your cycle, on like how painful your periods are. And yeah, when you're not ovulating, that has a huge impact on your health long term as well. So when we ovulate and produce progesterone, that is super, super important for protecting our brains and our hearts and our bones and everything coming into like our 60s, 70s, 80s when we're older and we want to have all of that progesterone built up in our bodies to prevent heart disease, to prevent like osteoporosis, to prevent Alzheimer's and all of these things. So yeah, it can really have like a long-term impact on your health, not just on your periods right here and now.
Obviously watching a ton of your content, and we see you talk about nervous system regulation a lot, and hearing you talk about how um important a low stress level is to maintaining a good hormone balance. It makes more sense to me why this regulation, nervous system regulation, is so important. Can you explain to us a little bit more about what that is, how we might try to achieve it, and just how it supports our overall functioning?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, nervous system regulation is all about safety and kind of convincing and almost tricking your body sometimes to think that she's safe, to think that you're safe. So for most of the time, we want our nervous systems to be in rest and digest. And a lot of the time that's not the case, right? So our human bodies are designed to be in like a rest and digest calm state for most of the time. And then to experience that fight or flight feeling very rarely. So usually it would be if we were being chased by a bear or if there was some kind of like extreme danger. But most of the time we're designed to be in rest and digest. Um, and the modern world has kind of shifted things so that we are in fight or flight a lot of the time. We get that fight or flight feeling when we have loads of emails to answer, when we have a million things on our to-do list, when we can't find a parking space. Like all of these things create that fight or flight in our bodies and create that stress. And with nervous system regulation, it's basically just about kind of keeping your body, remembering that she is safe and keeping that threat level low, and just reminding your body that she's safe and that she can be calm and relaxed. And sometimes that means, making sure that you're eating regularly, because if you haven't eaten for 10 hours and it's been the whole day and you've only been surviving off of coffee, that's going to put you into fight or flight, and that's going to have an impact on your nervous system. So it's just about creating like small habits throughout your day so that your body remembers, okay, we're safe, we're not going to die, we're not starving, we're not in immediate threat, there's no bear after us. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I know that I'm not being chased by a bear, but sometimes like overloaded emails feel much like the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's so funny how like our, I guess like evolution, maybe we could call it that, is like we just have different stressors now. But do you have any like maybe like hacks or something to bring you kind of back down to earth? Like you're not you're not as worse off as you think you are. You're not getting chased by a bear. You can chill out. That email isn't gonna blow up your whole world. Give us like a little something.
Yeah, I think what I said before about eating regularly is so important. And I say this because I forget to eat regularly sometimes,
Okay.
but eating like every like 3 or 4 hours, even if that's just a snack, is really, really important, because food helps your body to feel safe. And you're preventing your blood sugar from dropping down really low, which again is like seen as a threat to your body. Lots of time outside in nature if you can, which I know is really, really hard when it comes to the winter and it's freezing, freezing cold out there.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I think just taking a moment to like step away from screens, even if you can't go outside, even if it's snowing a blizzard out there, taking a moment, taking a deep breath, remembering to have some water. I know this seems like really simple things, but it really, really helps.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes we have to take it back to the basics though. And like we don't really realize like they're basics because they are so good for us, right?
Absolutely. A lot of the time, you don't need to spend $2,000 on some machine or something. You just need to drink some water. It's, yeah, all the simple stuff.
I mean, it makes total sense.
Question for you about nervous system dysregulation. So, as Brittany said, and I think a lot of us can identify with this, when you live at a 10 most of the time, we could be walking around in this state all the time and not realize it, which makes it really hard to regulate it. Like, we first have to notice it, right? So, do you have any tips or tricks for us to be able to tell, oh, I get it. This is nervous system dysregulation. I need to do these things? Because for me in particular, I'm not a chill person at the best of times. I like to operate, I'm just a little intense and I like that about myself. It's just kind of the way I approach the world. So I think for me, I don't even know if I would notice if this was something that is happening in my life on a regular and consistent basis. So yeah, is there any way that I could identify that and so that I can do some of these things?
Yeah, I think it depends on the person, definitely. It depends on, like, for some people, it might be almost like a mental trigger, and then some people, it might be like a physical trigger. Like, if you start to feel dizzy or you start to feel kind of like hot and sweaty or something like that can be a sign that your stress hormones are really high. It can also be almost like those ADHD symptoms in terms of like not being able to focus or not being able to finish a task. Like if you start a task and then you like immediately jump onto another task and you haven't finished the past 7 tasks that you started, because that is me as well. That's a big sign for me that I'm in like stress mode if I can't focus and I'm not in a calm enough state to finish a task or like take it all the way through to the end. But yeah, for some people it's going to be really, really difficult to notice whether you're in that stressed state. And I think a part of it is just it takes time to figure that out for yourself, and it takes time to notice like what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It's hard. You know what? I find it so hard to be in tune with your body because we have so many other things going on. But when you take the time out to just kind of check in with yourself, I think you know, right? You're
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm feeling like some type of stress, whether that be, headache, like you said, headache, dizziness, all that kind of stuff. Um, you mentioned like sometimes you don't even need a $2,000 machine to, help yourself through this. So what does like sustainable hormone support look like?
Yeah, so I'm saying this from a place of me spending so much money in the past, like
Yeah,
thousands and
tell us about
thousands of
that.
dollars on different things. And yeah, I absolutely believe that the basics are the most important. So things that you are already doing every day. It's just about like tweaking them and maybe coming at them from like a different perspective. So things like food, like what you're eating. For me, like one of the hormone basics is eating enough protein every day, which I know everyone hates to hear because it's like, oh my gosh, do I have to like figure this out and like calculate how much protein I'm eating? And I'm not saying you have to be like super, super strict and super, super like weighing everything that you eat, but just kind of being mindful to get enough protein every meal. Making sure you are drinking enough water or like herbal tea as well. Sleep is a really, really important one. So not staying up until 2 a.m. scrolling, which I know is tempting for a lot of people. And yeah, I think once you've mastered like especially those three, the sleep, the hydration, and the food, that's going to change your life. You don't need to be getting a or a ring that's going to track your sleep, or if you've had 8 hours sleep. You can look at a clock. You know if you've had deep restful sleep or not. You don't necessarily need a vibration plate or any of these other kind of you know gadgets that are on the market right now. um Also, time outside, time in nature, I think is really, really important. Just going for a walk for 10-15 minutes can change your mood, can change your hormones, and can change your whole day. So yeah, I would say those would be like my foundations to look at before buying any expensive supplements or anything else.
Okay. Well, you mentioned food and like, I like to eat. So,
Me
can you
too.
tell us like are there any like foods that you definitely recommend and definitely recommend to stay away from when it comes to hormones?
So foods that I love are definitely like animal foods, so like eggs and meat. Eggs are really great because they are quite literally great for your ovaries. They have like lots of good cholesterol in them and like choline and all of these different nutrients that are great for your ovaries and your hormones. Um, Raw carrots are also a really, really great one for women because they have a special type of fiber in them, which helps you to detox estrogen. So if you're experiencing any kind of like painful periods, heavy periods, PMS, anything like that, raw carrots are a really great little snack. Yeah, because it really helps your gut health and your hormones. And in terms of foods to stay away from, I mean, we all kind of know that like sugar's not great for you, but I mean, I still eat sugar. You have to have balance, right? You have to have joy in your life, and I think that is really, really important. Um, but one of the main foods I do like to recommend that my clients stay away from is canola oil, like vegetable oils, because it can create a lot of inflammation in the body, and that can lead to gut health issues, period pain, um, anxiety, depression, like any symptom that is connected with inflammation. So I like to cook with butter as much as I can instead of like vegetable oil, canola oil, um, or like tallow is also a great one, coconut oil. And that's a small hack that is not it's not gonna change what you're eating like massively. You can still make the same meals. And it's not going to necessarily change like how you cook, or like it's not going to be a big lifestyle change, but it can make a huge difference.
Oh, I love that. Well, I hope everyone's taking notes because now we got the insider, right?
For sure. I love what you said about, nothing earth shattering, and these things seem very simple and almost even intuitive, right? Like we need to eat well, we need to drink water, we need to get sleep, we need to manage our stress level. That they're like simple steps, but it's the implementation process that gets me. I think, trying saying those things is very easy. Trying to do them all at once, I think, can be very difficult. And if we're trying to decrease stress, how do we balance all of these things? Or what do you recommend to your clients in terms of, how they implement all of these things without just creating more stress, which they then need to get better at all these things? Like for me, I feel like it would feel a bit like I'm on a hamster wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've definitely been there where I've felt like I've had this huge long to-do list in the morning that is just like crazy, and I need to get up 3 hours earlier just to work through all of these things, which has created more stress. Um, yeah, for me, obviously, like the way that I approach it with my clients is to look at the individual person, and my approach with somebody who is in their 20s and single is going to be so different to someone who has 4 children and a full-time job. And yeah, obviously that is where I come in to support my clients. And I think, yeah, it is just about like being kind to yourself. And if you have a day where you do nothing that is good for you, that's okay. Like that's life, and that's okay. And it is just about like doing what you can and choosing the habit that is going to be easiest for you to start out with. So if you know that you find sleep really hard, like focus on food to start with, because if that's going to be easier and less overwhelming, that's where we go. I also find that habit stacking is really helpful. Like for example, like one of the things that I do with my clients is if there's somebody who makes a cup of tea in the morning and they put the kettle on, I will try and help them to do some lymphatic work, so like lymphatic drainage work for that 2 minutes that the kettle is boiling, so that it's something that is already attached to something that they do every single day, and so that it feels easier and like more approachable, because they're not having to like remember it because it's already attached to something that they're doing every day, so their brain already is like, oh, I'm gonna have to do my lymph work whilst I'm making my coffee in the morning. Um, but yeah, I think 2-minute rituals are just the way to go with that.
I love
So
that.
you just touched on lymphatic drainage, and as we know, that's kind of like a buzzword right now,
Yeah.
right? Like it's kind of trending. So, can you tell us like maybe like why that is important? Like why did it blow up? Why is it trending? Why is everyone kind of talking about it right now?
Yeah, so lymphatic work helps to remove inflammation from your body. So that is one of the reasons why I think it is like so trendy right now. I do think there's a massive part of the trend that is based on how you look. Like people want like a thinner face, they want to look they think it's going to be amazing for like their skincare and everything like that. But yeah, if your lymphatic system isn't working properly, then it can impact your immune system. It can impact the amount of inflammation in your body. So it is something that's really important to look at, and something that's helped me massively in my life. But yeah, my lymphatic routines are just me usually like in my pajamas or like dancing around the kitchen listening to Taylor Swift. It's maybe not like this big thing that is like what you see trending on Instagram. And I think what is also really important to remember is like going for a walk helps your lymph. Like it can be as simple as that. Again, you don't need to buy like a vibration plate or anything crazy or spend $200 on a lymphatic massage. a big part of what I do is like sharing with my clients how to do their own lymphatic drainage at home so that they don't then have to spend like, yeah, $200, $300 a month on getting massages. That can be amazing, but yeah, we're trying to be sustainable here.
We're trying to be practical and not blow the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's fair. So you said that you were kind of struggling for years until you went into the holistic health. How do you help people kind of trust their body again? Because as you know, like going through a journey like that, you're like, what's going on with my body? Why isn't it doing good things? I mean, I had a cold and I think my body's like giving up on me. So, how can you tell us how you kind of help people get back into trusting their body and knowing their body again?
Yeah, I think honestly, like this has been such a huge thing for me in my journey. Like it's been a real struggle, like a real journey for me. And it's something that I'm still working through. I think the biggest mindset shift for me was understanding that when I was really sick, like when I was really exhausted, that was my body trying to heal and that was my body trying to protect me and trying to get me to rest. And whatever symptom you are dealing with, it's always your body trying to do what is best for you. So, like, one of my favorite things to say to clients with like painful periods is your period is painful because it's your body, it might be your body trying to bring your uterus back into alignment, like if your uterus is tilted and like your uterus is cramping trying to bring it back into position, that is your body trying to heal itself. It might not feel like it at the time, but it is. If you have heavy periods, it's your body trying to release extra estrogen and trying to like detox that estrogen and get it out of you. Like if you maybe ate a food that was bad for you and you like threw it back up again, that's your body trying to like get it out and trying to help you. So just kind of having that mindset shift of even if you were feeling really, really rubbish, it was always your body trying to do what is best for you and trying to look after you. And I think as well, it is just about gratitude and just being grateful for every small thing, every small win that you might experience. So whether that is being able to go for a walk when usually that was really painful for you, or being able to make your family dinner on the first day of your period when you would normally be in bed, like just having that gratitude for everything, whether that is writing it down, whether that's sharing that gratitude with a friend. I think that really helps to like build trust because then you start to be able to see the things that your body is able to do.
I love that. You're giving yourself evidence that your body
Yeah.
is protecting you. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes when you start something new, I'm thinking of like diet, exercise. Like a long time ago, I did a Whole30 program, and when you go without sugar for a certain period of time, it feels like you have the flu. Like you feel sick, even though you're technically more healthy than you were before. When people start to do these kinds of things, regulate their nervous system a little better, eat a little better, walk a little more, is it kind of a steady climb in terms of like for most people in terms of how much better they'll feel, or is there definitely an adjustment period where things kind of get worse before they get better?
I think it depends upon the approach. So for most people, I would say it's like a steady climb. There are some people that I do like a big detox with, and in those cases, they can feel worse before they get better. But I do try as much as possible for like my approach to be like very gentle and very like nurturing. So yeah, I would say like for most people, it's like a steady increase. Like I very much focus on like nourishing your body and kind of not making any like big drastic changes. But yeah, it's going to be different for everyone and it's going to depend on your symptoms. It's going to depend on what your lifestyle was beforehand and how long you were sick previously. So I do also say to my clients, like, if you've been experiencing a symptom for 20 years, it might take a bit longer for you to heal that than if someone has been experiencing it for 2 months, which I feel like is common sense, but yeah, it is also something to be mindful of. But yeah, I think we don't want to stress your body out more by doing like any kind of big crazy changes. So yeah, the way that I like to work is more gentle and is more of like a slow, sustained increase in your health.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's better to do that than probably like shock the system, right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes there's these trends that come up and it's like, okay, now you have to even like cold plunging. Like to me, that's like, why would someone do that? I don't know. But so Chloe, there's so much misinformation and like myths about the hormones online. What's one myth you wish people wouldn't believe?
Um, that's such a great question. I would have to maybe be a bit controversial and say that women's hormones can function on a vegan diet because I don't believe that they can. I feel like I personally believe we need all of the amino acids from eggs, from like animal proteins and things like that for our livers to function, for our hormones to function, for our nervous systems to be healthy. So yeah, that would be yeah, slightly controversial, but that would be the one that I would say.
No, we love a little bit of controversy on this podcast for
And
sure.
and I love steak, so I'm here for that
Yeah,
information.
I'm like we both
Right?
eat meat, so we're good. I actually
Yeah.
was watching TikTok, don't judge me, but I came across this video of this doctor talking and he was telling us like um so the hormone cycle that women experience monthly, like for their periods and whatever, it's such a swing that for a man to experience the same hormone swing, they would have to live 125 years.
I
So
saw that
we
this morning.
yeah, we literally go through a whole 125-year men's hormone swing every month. And they're like, no wonder they think we're like nuts. But like, and that just goes to show how crazy the woman's like hormone system is.
Yeah, absolutely. It is crazy. Like we go through so much every single day hormonally. Every single day of our cycle, whether it's 28 days, whether it's 30 days, is different hormones. Men just wake up and it's the same hormonal pattern every single day. So yeah, I get it. I get it that they don't understand us, but yeah, it's huge. Like hormones are huge for women.
Yeah, and like how boring to wake up and do the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
I'm going to preface this by saying I have a husband. I love him. He's very supportive of me, all the things. But legitimately, how much easier would our lives be if you could wake up every morning and feel the same way? Like for us, it's like a fun surprise. Well, I'm sure for you, Chloe, you've mapped your cycle and you have it figured out. But honestly, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, who is this person? Where is this emotion coming from? I just woke up. But like life would be so easy if you just felt the same way every day emotionally. Can you imagine? Like I I think that my business would be 10 times its size and I would have obviously some sort of award by now.
Seriously, that's how I feel. Well, we don't want to keep you too long, Chloe, but I do have one last question for you. What is the biggest aha moment when women finally start working with you?
Oh, that is such a great question. I feel like one of my favorite moments for a lot of women is working with them to listen to their bodies and to figure out what they actually want to do and what they don't want to do. So like, do they actually want to be running around helping this charity, helping their friend do this, helping their mother-in-law do that? And actually, like when women become so in tune with their bodies that they realize, like, actually, I don't want to be doing that anymore. My body is saying no, and they start to put in boundaries and they start to like feel so connected with themselves and feel so confident within themselves and their decisions that they feel comfortable saying no to the things that they have not wanted to do but have been saying yes to for years. Like that's one of the biggest things for me. And them understanding how that has been depleting them and that has been exhausting them and that has been so connected with their period pain, their chronic fatigue. Like that is one of my favorite things.
Love
My
that.
goodness.
I love that. Boundaries are awesome. So I think it's time for me to do my very, very favorite thing, which is to bullet point and highlight reel this episode. So I think for me, my three big takeaways are the first one is that it's not just about your sex hormones. Hormones are the mission control center of your entire body and how it operates in the world. The second big takeaway for me is that we really need to learn what our body is telling us and listen to what our body is telling us and kind of understand how it's functioning currently. And the last piece for me that I really loved, it has to do with the way you approach clients, is that we don't want to do anything drastic. We want to take care of ourselves, we want to keep our stress low, and we want to just implement, like, get those quick wins. It's okay to go for the low hanging fruit first. Anything is better than nothing. So, those are my three biggest takeaways.
I love it, Jen. I love how you bullet point every episode. So, Chloe, for the ladies that are listening today that might want to find you, might want to work with you, might want to hear more of what you have to say, where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Instagram is definitely the best place to find me. So it's just at Chloe Stickings, which is my name. So yeah, come over and say hi. Like, obviously, I would love to know, like, if you've listened to this episode as well, like, please, yeah, pop me any questions that you might have as well.
Awesome. Well, our audience isn't really that shy, so hopefully you will get some messages in your DM.
I would love that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up another great episode of Ambition After Hours with Chloe. Check her out online. And guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify. Until next time, see you later, guys.
Later, Gators.